So I left a job that I truly loved to do this, right? Because I shouldn't be admitting this, but saving children, right? That was great, but saving you guys is better.
Yeah, man, this is tough, bro, because we put our lives into this, you know. We didn't miss a day, honestly. It's tough. We gave up so much to give you guys value. So yep.
Hey everyone, come on in. Like this video, share this video, drop a comment. What I need for you all to do is listen to this video from beginning to end. I'm going to play a clip towards the end of the video. It's quite enlightening. But yeah, thank you all for supporting the mix. Thank you, and shout out to all my international subscribers. Also those domestically, can't forget about you guys. I really appreciate the support. Again, if you want to continue to support, just like my video, share my video. It pushes it through the algorithm, you guys. It really does. And it's free. It's free 99 to like this video, and it's free to share it. And then smash that subscription bell. As you can see what this video is going to be about. Yes. Censorship, demonetization, being silenced, all of that stuff. Yeah. Why are so many, not all, celebrating the demonetization of these content creators, Fresh and Fits? Also, the demise of Tasha K, her lawsuit or whatever. In my opinion, this is nothing to be celebrating, everyone. It's not, especially being in this space as a content creator, because you know what? Free speech is real. It's real. First Amendment, free speech is real. Even prior to creating content, I was thinking the cancellation and the banning and all of that type of culture is becoming a bit of an overkill. And as society, we should be very careful and tread lightly. Basically, it was going too far, in my opinion, and borderline infringing on, people's right to First Amendment, free speech, free speech and expression. But hey, what do I know? So I continue to observe, like I said, even prior to starting to create content, I continue to observe things have become quite alarming overall. And this is just my opinion. But what are your thoughts? As you heard the fellas, I do not follow them on their platforms, but I just think that this is a slippery slope. And as being in this space, even if I wasn't in this space, because like I stated, we have free speech. For you to be able to, for anyone to be silenced because of your opinion, because of your views, it shouldn't be. I definitely don't agree with that. Now, putting out lying on someone, yeah, that's why they do have the laws, defamation and all of that. But I'm still not a fan of people being sued. It depends, in my opinion, the context of all of this. What's the context? So I don't know why their channel got demonetized, the fellows from Fresh and Fits, but what I do know about them is that they have a huge following, over 1 million plus subscribers. I've noticed too, just reviewing this YouTube streets and space, that some people was pretty much stating it was karma and all of that. So I'm not here to speak on it or speak to that, because I don't know, I guess, what the guys did, what they did. I guess apparently it must have been very shady, very shady and grimy for people to really be celebrating this. But again, I don't see any lights out of celebrating this, because whatever the case is, YouTube could use this or whatever it was as an example moving forward. And yeah, you probably like, hey, well, what they did was probably this or that, or something that I would never do. But it could be used as a benchmark, as an example. Case in point, it's just like with Tasha K. Would I have continued to push the envelope? And to my understanding with the Tasha K situation and the rapper Cardi B, that she was asked to remove whatever and to take whatever down and to retract whatever. Me personally, I would have done that. But I can't say why Tasha K stood 10 toes down on what she felt that was to be true and not a lie in her mindset or her space of content creations. I don't work for her. I'm not in that space. I wasn't working with her. So, but still, her situation with that rapper will be used as an example. And I don't think this has ever been done in the YouTube or just the content creation space, period. Even when you go to different podcasts that are not on YouTube, or even spaces like Instagram or Facebook or other different platforms, X, formerly known as Twitter. I mean, this could set the stage and be a benchmark or an example or precedence, as they state, case precedence for anyone. So just people kind of better be careful. I don't gloat in the fact of someone losing their livelihood, because as you can see, one of the fellas basically stated in the beginning of the clip that they had, they left their job that they loved, but obviously it looks like, he loved this even more. So I don't celebrate that, but one day it could be someone else, one day it could be you, one day it could be me, and it could be for the smallest thing that you may feel that does not go against their guidelines or rules, or it may be infringing on your free speech, whatever rules or guidelines or content they feel that they want to ding you on or they want to strike you on. So, one day you could be thriving and the next day you could be canceled. I remember seeing too on now known as X, formerly known as Twitter, how when prior to Elon Musk, of course, taking over, how people were getting banned left and right during the political season. And I don't think that was right, especially when I saw the minister being banned. And then what was the tipping point, what put the nail in the coffin, is when a sitting president was banned. I thought that was ridiculous. I did. And that's just, we can agree to disagree. That's just my opinion. Like I said. And so when I saw that, I'm like, if it can happen to him, it can happen to anyone. So basically, to me, it's about, the controlling the narrative, people's beliefs and all of that. And people who sit on these boards and these type of spaces, you guys, they have the control, they have the authority and all of that. And they have the relationships, the political relationships. Let's just keep it real with what it is. So just hope that everyone looks at this as a lesson to be learned instead of being celebratory of someone else's demise and demonetization. I'm sure those fellas, they'll be fine. I believe they'll be fine. They seem young, vibrant, smart, all of that. And I believe they will regroup. I'm not sure if they will regroup within the YouTube space, and maybe they probably will. I'm sure they have lawyers on board, all of that, to get down to the bottom of this. And I don't know this to be for a fact, or anything. I'm just, speculating or whatever. And also they probably have other ventures outside of YouTube, which I just encourage everyone, as I continue to grow, and I wished I would have done in my earlier prime years, is to have multiple sources, coming in, and can't rely on these platforms. You may need to create your own website to drive traffic and this and that. And then even with that, who controls the World Wide Web? Who's the controller over that? So like this video, you guys. Like this video, share this video. What are your thoughts on censorship and demonetization and celebrations? People, and it's not in the YouTube space, even on X, formerly known as Twitter, when people were getting banned and canceled, quote unquote, or whatever, a lot of people were celebrating. And I must admit, I was in that space at one point some years ago, until I just had to take a step back and like start seeing things the way society was transcending. And it's like, no, this is not a good space to be in. It's not a good space. This is not wise, I get having free speech responsibly, of course, and not calling dog whistles out to physically harm anyone. And then too, also on the flip side of things, you have to think about it too. Free speech is like, okay, perspective. Some people perspectives could be misconstrued. It could be like I can be having a conversation with someone. It could be via text or it could be in person. And what I'm saying or stating or whatever, they may receive it differently and vice versa. So it all goes down to perspective as well when you're speaking on free speech, you guys. And that's just my opinion in all of this. Yeah, to celebrate someone's demonetization is wild to me. I'm definitely not rocking with it, because whatever was the reason could be, like I said, used as an example or a benchmark for many other creators across the board, even outside of YouTube. And now you might say, well, my content isn't radical. My content isn't like theirs. I'm not saying theirs is radical or anything. And I've caught some of Fresh and Fit's clips here and there. But it's like, this is not for me. Some topics they discuss, I probably was rocking with, but I caught some clips here and there. So, but that's the beauty about choice. That's the beauty about being unique and everyone not having the same thought process or mind frame. You can develop your own opinion and perspective about whatever information that's out there. That's the beauty about opinion, being a human being. Everyone doesn't necessarily have to think alike, and it's okay if you don't. Everyone doesn't necessarily have to be on the same page. But what are your thoughts? Do you think it's wise for people to be celebrating this? Even outside of YouTube, we can take Twitter, Facebook, Meta. We can take that. Some people, because Meta is notorious for putting people in Facebook jail for what you share, what you post, or what you say. And it's like, what? So is it free? I'm seeing with all of this in terms of like the social media space and the internet as a whole, a lot of these different platforms within the past, I'm gonna say maybe 5 to 6 years, have, in my opinion, been in bed with, and I'm not saying literally in bed, and this is just like a metaphor, with some political officials. So who's feeding them as far as donation wise? Who's feeding them to control certain narratives? So you have to think about all of that, because this is bigger than us, everyone. Just imagine if things get to a certain point where it becomes even more structured, in a sense, where they are in control of the type of words you use, the type of movies you watch, the type of publications. Like, to my understanding, when it comes to publications, meaning books, when I say books, sometimes the books are being pulled off the shelf. So I've seen that over the past however many years, and I think that's when I was like, now this is getting ridiculous. Why would they pull that book off the shelf? Even if it's a book or writing that you don't agree with, don't read it. But I guess, playing the devil's advocate, they're thinking that someone else could be empowered or emboldened by whatever rhetoric or writing that's in said book or said movie or whatever, and that individual on the receiving end could take it in a way and rise up. So I don't know, but how often does that happen? So you have to think about it statistically, and you guys know how I feel about statistics, but again, I use it to gauge into a generalization of things. But yeah, so I'm playing the devil's advocate, so I can see it in that perspective as well. But how often does that happen? Not often. How often does that happen? It's a lot of print books, materials, articles from newspapers, magazines, old school wise as well. And even now, audibles, you have online electronic books and all of that. People who, like, you can write a book, I can write a book about my experience, my thoughts, or take a subject and study it and put out a book about it. So my writing could probably be perceived to someone else as untrue, radical, and I'm just speaking hypothetically. But okay, if it is that way, if it is, and it's coming from my perspective, why ban it? Why take it away? In my opinion, I do not believe, from a statistic perspective, that it's causing destruction, or it's causing or an uprising where someone wants to go out, and this is just my opinion, wants to go out and do ABCD. I don't, from a statistic perspective, and I don't have this statistics in front of me. There's statistics out there because to support this, to support that certain type of books, certain type of rhetoric, certain type of views from these different type of people are causing people to rise up and cause harm or a demise or destruction to someone. So I don't know, what are your thoughts about this though? But yeah, I don't see this being something to be celebrating, like with Tasha K's situation. This will be used as case precedence. So just imagine, you could say, you or anyone else who is in this space, even traditional media, even legacy media, people, they can get sued, that's in this space, and you can say one thing or something that someone feels that's a lie, and you could probably prove that it's not, or whatever, or you could probably cite where you got ABC from, and you may have to either retract, or you might just get sued flat out without the chance of retracting. It could be something small. So what I'm saying is that these cases and these situations could be likely used in small circumstances. So I'm not stating anything like with the Tasha K situation, and I'm not a wino, but I just think Tasha K is very entertaining, and I followed her journey even before I even decided to create content. So for years I've been like following her when it was just her wine glass, and she had a whole different look, and the optics of her channel wasn't as finished or in 5G, 6G, or whatever. So, but yeah, she's entertaining, and she seems to be smart, intelligent. She's a beautiful woman. All of that really speak to if what she said in certain situations with that particular rapper was all true or not true. To my understanding, some of it was true. So have her case. I don't know what the transcript says of what happened, ABCD, but if I was in Tasha K's shoes, I probably would have retracted that. And the reason why I say allow this to go to court to set the precedence for everyone else in this space. That's how I thought, in my opinion, that was pretty selfish of her, because I saw this coming. I wasn't even creating content then, but I was like, that's pretty selfish of her. She should have been retracted instead of, it was one video she did, and she said she had the cease and desist, and she wiped her, talking about what she gonna do with it, wipe her butt with it. I was like, oh my gosh, girl, just let it go and just, retract or whatever. I think she stood 10 toes down because she really felt that she had a legitimate case. But I do believe in her case situation, it's just my opinion, her attorneys were trash. So yeah, that's that. But I believe if she had some good attorney, the outcome probably would have been different. But yeah, but what are your thoughts, you guys? Like I said, Fresh and Fit, I find them to be, seem like kind of comical and guys or whatever, and they talk about a variety of things, I guess. And to my understanding, that they've came at a lot of content creators in this YouTube space, so that's probably why it's being celebrated. Even one content creator, the lead attorney, I do follow him. I love following legal people, whether they have a large platform on YouTube or not. I love following legal related channels. That's just me, because my background is legal. I am not an attorney. I do not practice law. I do not all of that. No. But I do have a legal background. But the lead attorney, I liked his point and perspective on this, because he did some content on this. And I'm going to share that clip towards the end, but I'm just paraphrasing right now. That he basically said, why do a victory lap? It's never good to be celebrating someone's demise in terms of their livelihood, losing money, because you've been banned or censored pretty much, so, and I'm just paraphrasing, it's not his words to be exact, but yeah, let me know your thoughts. I'm going to go ahead and run a poll actually over my community section. Do you believe people should be celebrating the demise of the Fresh and Fit guys, and even also Tasha K? See what free speech is. Do you believe in the council culture? Do you believe in the banning and all of that? So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and run a poll. Run over to my community section and vote. Yeah, like, share, subscribe to the mix. I appreciate you guys for supporting my channel. Thank you. And I'm going to go ahead and end it with this clip from the lead attorney. Just a clip, just a snippet. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.
They didn't say bullshit. Of copyright infringement, period. The YouTube team.
So what happened? Well, the attorney apologized, retracted each one of those claims, and YouTube allowed their channel to stay up. Think about it. Fresh and Fit hired that $2 attorney to take my channel down, and now look at their situation. Look what they are in tears about today. Now, is this karma? What it's not is a time to celebrate. I have no ill will, no bad blood with Fresh and Fit. I haven't talked.
He literally said it out of his mouth. He said he has no ill will and no bad blood towards Fresh and Fit. No ill will and no bad blood with Fresh and Fit. I take people at what it is that they say, and why would I take it any differently?
About them on my channel in well over a year. I wish these brothers well. The reason that I'm making this video is to underscore the importance of what has just happened. Most of you don't make YouTube videos. Only a content creator can know the particular pain that you suffer when your channel is under attack. Last night on their channel, Fresh and Fit hosted what they termed an emergency meeting. We should not forget, though, that last year on my channel, I hosted an emergency meeting. Now, it did not start out that way. I had just turned on my camera and started talking about Fresh and Fit's $2 attorney's attack against me and my channel. But as I started explaining what was happening to me, other content creators started filing into the stream. Big dogs on the YouTube platform, some of the greatest. And we all started talking about how Fresh and Fit was attacking content creators on the platform.
I guess you noticed playback got it, and so that triggered you to make the video.
Even the late, great Kevin Samuels came up and talked about his views on people abusing the copyright system.
This isn't coming in as fair use. This is coming in as we don't like what people are saying, and this is that. And that's a dangerous game.
Kev used to say he doesn't mind if people use his content. He just didn't want people to use his content before he got a chance to use it. So when he would live stream on Instagram, people would screen record his live stream, and then they would hurry up and post it before he can use it on his own channel. And so Kevin Samuels often at times did not necessarily like that, and he would complain about that a little bit, and he would ask people not to post the content before he posted his own content. But it's a tricky game as people using content or whatever, so on and so forth. But if you react to it authentically, and you don't have any ill will about it, then I think that it generally falls under fair use. But let's continue.
Because even if you're right on the particular element of one or two videos, when it's done like this, you can tend to be wrong on the bigger parts. Like from what I understand, lots of creators woke up with several different strikes. Mm-hmm. I think there's just a better way of approaching it. But I think it's going to be interesting because even though I have my personal opinions on it, I think there'll be a discussion about this greater in YouTube. But at the end of the day, trying to get anybody's channel taken down simply because you don't like what they're saying, in my opinion, is counterproductive.
I agree with that. And of course I 100% agree with that, because I don't want Fresh and Fit's channel taken down. I don't want their channel to be demonetized. I think that to try to get an entire channel taken down by sending out 10 copyright strikes when you know that it only takes 3 in order for you to get your channel removed, which I will give you a little bit of insight. So when you are a little bit bigger of a content creator, or when you have a certain type of platform, or when you have a platform that have so many certain subscribers or visibility, YouTube does not automatically issue a copyright strike when you send it to when somebody sends it to you. right? They send you a whole process for you to be able to review and all of this other type of stuff. But when they know that you authentically create great content and they not that, then it's going to be very, very hard for you to be able to get that off. So I don't even know why they thought that was going to make sense in the first place. But let me continue.
So many content creators came up in that meeting to talk about what Fresh and Fit was doing. And then there were even other content creators that were in the chat. The OG O'Shea Duke
Shout out to
Jackson was
O'Shea.
in the chat commenting. Shout out to Sinful the P. Rest in peace. He was giving his perspective in the chat. My brother Daniels was in the chat. So many other YouTubers were in the chat as well, opining on this situation. Now that was an emergency meeting. It was an emergency meeting about two young men who were attacking content creators across the platform. The upshot is that Fresh and Fit was trying to make content creators go through the same trauma last year that Fresh and Fit is going through today. Again, this is not good. We content creators are a particular group, and we can all be victims of demonetization. This is not a celebratory time. Now, is it fair? Is it karma?